See, I told you could see a smile with your eyes. You don't need to see the face. All right, I'm going to stop this real quick. As much as I'm loving that song, what I wanted to do real quick before we launch into this unboxing is I wanted to give a belated thank you to Carol out in New Hampshire, who has become a customer of mine as well, as has her sister, who's down in New Jersey. And Carol was concerned about my safety with the corona craze and all that, so she made me a real cool mask and gave me paper after paper of, you know, descriptions about how she did it and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Carol out in New Hampshire and thank her for being concerned about me. That means a lot. And I'm also going to do another thing real quick as well before we launch into this unboxing, but I'm going to take off Carol's mask first because I'm in the workshop and I'm not concerned about my safety in here. I even have customers coming to the workshop and I'm not overly concerned about it. So the other thing I wanted to do real quick is, most of you know by now, my hair's getting way too long. As most of you know, the major contest is over. It ended this past Friday, May the 15th at midnight. Had a lot of entries, even some last minute entries as well. And some just some wonderful essays written. I know I've gotten some initial feedback from Bill already, and he was just like, man, so many incredible writings that folks did. It's difficult to pick a winner. But he does have kind of one that he's kind of giving favor to and shared his thoughts on what that is, and I'll ultimately share that with you as well. But we all know that a lot of you that are sewaholics also have a spouse that is supportive of what you're doing. Now, in some cases, that might be a lady in support of her husband being a sewaholic. But in many cases, it's also husbands supportive of their wives being sewaholics. And I had one instance where a husband felt strongly enough about his wife and her merits as a sewaholic that he sent me a letter at the workshop. And I wanted to read it to you because I think it's really, really pretty doggone cool. And his wife happens to also be a past customer of mine as well. So this actually came from Frank Miranda out in California. And Frank wrote the following. He says, "Mr. Scott, my name is Paco." I'm assuming that that's his nickname. Frank's nickname is Paco. I've been married to a fallen sewaholic angel for 9 years and still going strong. Irene is my wife. She is the black sheep of her family, and I am also of mine. The Lord has put us together to bless each other and those around us. Irene is constantly sewing for her friends and self. She has tons of material for projects that arise, from a featherweight to an industrial machine. No job too small or too big to complete. She fulfills all her friends' needs and dreams. My sewaholic, I look forward to when she goes to her room, for I know that it's Paco time on my PlayStation 2. The picture on Facebook of her sewaholic should be named Reenie Bean. Reenie Bean sewing, Reenie Bean giving, Reenie Bean spreading much love. Thank you. Sewaholic Witness Protection. Well done, Paco. Well done. You obviously feel very strongly about Irene's status as an official sewaholic, and from our conversations in the past and my contact with your wife, I would not disagree with you. So well done, Paco. Well done. All right. So back to our reason for this unboxing. The reason for this unboxing is I have another box that's been delivered to the workshop, which is awesome. I love it when people take that next step. I mean, I get contacted all the time by phone, by Facebook Messenger, by email, by smoke signal from people that say, I've got a machine, Scott, that I want you and you, only you, to restore. And I would say about 45% of the folks actually follow through and do it. The other ones are just, I don't know what happens to them. They fall off the end of the earth, or they're consumed by a black hole, or they're eaten up by their sewing room. I have no idea. But, you know, a large majority of people never follow through and get that machine to the workshop. Maybe it's just too much of a daunting task to pack it up like this one behind me that you're going to see me unbox shortly. But whatever it is, I would just encourage you, do it. It's not that difficult. If you can't do it, then take it to UPS or take it to FedEx or one of those other folks. And all I emphasize when people reach out, if they say that they're going to take that track, is make sure that you tell those people in a very firm tone, you know, stiffen your back and look mean and look angry and say, pack it double boxed, pack it fragile. Or my husband, the equivalent of Paco for Irene, is going to come and kick your bobbin. I said it. I'm sorry. I lost my cool. Yeah, I mean, husbands are generally very protective of their wives, especially when it comes to their trade, when it comes to their passion. And if it's getting a machine that they love safely to the workshop, you better follow directions or, whew, I don't even want to think about it. So let's zoom in on this box that arrived at the workshop a short time ago. I'll zoom in on it a little bit. And this particular box came from the great state of Indiana. And if you're a Hoosier, I want to say I love Hoosiers. You already know this. I grew up as a boy traveling down to that wonderful Hoosier state all the time. Going down there with my dad, my mom, my brother. Going down there to see Grandma and Grandpa in Morocco, Indiana. Near Rensselaer, near Kentland. And I have so many wonderful boyhood memories of being down there at Grandma and Grandpa's. I could go on all day long talking about my experiences growing up as a boy and traveling down to that Hoosier state. So this box is from that great Hoosier state. And it came from Lorraine Workman. Lorraine Workman. And I'm not going to tell you what she sent, but I'm going to tell you that it is a machine that is definitely something that she would consider to be a treasure of hers. And as we communicated about her sending this machine, she said, this machine is so far gone, I just don't know if even you can do it. I don't even know if you can bring it back. But I'm going to tell you one thing, as I told her, and she sent me back a real big smiley face through Facebook Messenger. I said, miracles happen every single day at this workshop. Every day a miracle happens in this workshop. And I can tell you that I'm going to give it everything I can. Everything that I can, we're going to pour into this opportunity to turn this machine back to where it needs to be. All right? So let's get busy. And I'm going to put that fun music back on that kind of opened this premiere so we can have something to listen to while we're starting to dig into this machine. And I better also get, in case Lorraine packed this thing with a bunch of peanuts, I better get a peanut collecting container. So, you know what? Let me turn the music on and then I'll walk over and grab a peanut collecting container. All right, here we go. And this one is called, what is it called? Barnyard Surprise. Barnyard Surprise. And I picked this style of music. It's labeled kind of country just because my grandma and grandpa down in Morocco, Indiana, they were country folks. And one of the special memories that I had is Grandma and Grandpa, they didn't own this land that they did some farming on and raising some crops. They leased it, but that was their space. And they raised everything from melons to watermelons to peas, carrots, and you name it, they had it. And we would go out there and Grandma and Grandpa would let us pick some of this stuff. And then not even wait until we got back to their house. We would just sit there right on the ground and we would cut into some of these melons. And I'll tell you one thing, Walmart, Festival Foods, I don't care who you name, they don't have anything on how unbelievably drop-dead gorgeous, delicious every single one of those things that we took on to Grandma and Grandpa's garden was. It was just a little bit of magic. So that's why I picked this one. And again, it's called Barnyard Surprise. All right, I got my containers, so let's get busy. Well, I don't need to worry about peanuts, I don't think. It looks like just a lot of packing paper. And I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, this one was packed by UPS, I think. So they must have chose to use this. Yeah, this was packed by UPS, so they must have chose to use this paper instead of packing peanuts. And I know a couple of states have actually outlawed packing peanuts, so I may end up seeing more of this. I know California in particular, they do not like those styrene peanuts, but then they allow all kinds of other things that could also be equally as bad, so who knows? It's one or the other, I guess. Well, I like that song. And I heard a harmonica, I heard a guitar, I heard maybe a little bit of a banjo in there. I think everybody was getting at it. That's music that I really enjoy. Country music, I mean, I love all music. Jazz, big band, New Orleans jazz. Music is just one of those things that you either like it or you love it, and I love music. I love music. All right, so let's lift this out. I'm going to set it over here while I move this box. You can see in the bottom, not a lot of padding on the bottom. Whoever Lorraine, whichever UPS store she used down in Indiana, they just put a layer of paper on the bottom, and this is about how thick it is. Maybe, I mean, when it's compressed with the weight of the machine, maybe a quarter of an inch, a half of an inch, and then we've got the bottom of the box. So that's not necessarily the way I would recommend. And I'm sure Lorraine read him the Riot Act and told him exactly what she wanted, but kind of like recently with the unboxing from New York, with that Singer 101, we discovered that people do not always either listen or hear what we're saying. So let me just emphasize again that if you're packing, use my method. If you're having somebody else pack it, read them the riot act about packing it double boxed and packing it fragile, and repeat it about 1 billion times. And then again, go back to, if you don't want me to come and shoot your porch light out, you know, kick your hamster or whatever it is, then do it the way I want to do it. Because if Scott does his unboxing and it's not done right, I am not going to be a happy camper. So that's the only observation I have so far, is you got to pad the bottom of that box just as well as around and on top as well. So, all right, let's move this to the side. Toss this right over here. Okay, let me get this back up on the workbench. Well, you can't see through here. Well, you can kind of see on the top already, at least the type of case that this is in. And I'm trying to see if there's anything on here. No, there's nothing on here. It's just some sort of a random label, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a random label. So let's get a little bit more music on, and then we'll start to remove the layers that are on here. And it looks like they did a decent job padding from what I can feel. Remember, when you push on this, all you want to feel is padding. You don't want to be able to press and feel the metal of the machine or the contours of the machine. It should be thick enough that all you feel is padding when you push on it. And that looks like they did a good job on the sides, the back, and the front. They didn't pad the bottom at all. I mean, if they did, very minimally, very minimal. And the top is padded, but it's thin enough that I can feel the handle and I can feel everything else through it. So that's just feedback to Lorraine, who obviously paid these folks, I'm sure, a good amount of money to pack it for her. And they could have done a much better job in protecting the top and the bottom of this treasure, as well as they did the sides, the front, and the back. So what else do we have here? Okay, I have no idea what this one is. It's called Willie's Sunnyside. It's labeled Country Folk. So let me put this on next. All right, let's start unwrapping the rest of this treasure of Lorraine's from the great state of Indiana. Let's see how I want to tackle this here. I'm going to go across the top here. And I'm kind of pulling that away, angling the scissors and then also pulling the bubble wrap away just from the case. I know the machine is under the case, but I still want to protect the case too, so. Any guesses yet? Any guesses as to what this is? You kind of see the handle sticking through there a little bit. And I'm not looking at the chat, so if you type it and I don't respond, it's not that I'm ignoring you. was an interesting little tune, wasn't it? That tune again. Oh, how interesting. I just changed the settings on this computer that I have, this laptop, and it's going into a real fun, I'm just going to break away real quick just for kicks and giggles. It's going into like a screensaver, and it must be pulling all the images that I have saved on my hard drive. So it looks like all kinds of vintage shots of posters and machines, and there's a lady walking down the stairs with a featherweight. She is so strong. Oh my goodness, she's so strong. Yeah, more vintage advertisements for the 221. I'm just curious what else pops up real quick, just for fun. There's another ad. And some of these I've already posted on Facebook. Those of you that do Facebook, you've seen these. But I just think these vintage advertisements are just fascinating. And I know most of you do as well from the way you've responded when I've posted them. They're just utterly cool. She looks happy, doesn't she? What do you think of that hairstyle? I think that's kind of cool, don't you? And that obviously is a 222 right there. That was a free arm featherweight. I have never had a... Oh, and there's my customer from California's golden machine. And there's a Necky. 100th anniversary of Necky. Who is that guy? Oh, I remember that featherweight. That came from out west. That's the one that the big bug crawled out of. I still have nightmares over that. And there's one of my original videos promoting the Singer 201-2 as the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines. So these are just kind of fun, aren't they? I don't know where the rest of her is. She got cut off. All right, I'll be a good boy. I'm like I've said, I'm like a 9-year-old. There's an original Singer store front. They used to have those. I wonder if, are any of you old enough to remember those Singer storefronts? I don't know if you are or not. Low down payment, you can get a featherweight. Way cool. I've got a lot obviously saved on my hard drive about the featherweight. That's kind of neat, huh? All right, I'm back. I get distracted. I say it all the time. I get distracted like a 9-year-old. All right, let me put on another piece of music, and we will continue marching forward. So that last one again was called Willie's Sunnyside, and this next one is called Lost and Found. But it's labeled calm, and I don't know if I want to be calm right now. Should I be calm? Why don't we skip this one? I'm going to go to ketchup, not like ketchup like put it on your fries, but ketchup like C-A-T-C-H-U-P. And this is labeled Bright Country Folk. Let's try this one. Yeah, I'd say it's a little bright. This reminds me of being in the pickup truck with my dad growing up. And my dad was a Merle Haggard, Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty fan. And we used to listen to music like this. And this is going to date me a little bit, and that's totally fine. We used to listen to this on 8-track tapes. I'm not joking. Yeah, I'm liking this. All right, let's get busy. By the way, when we listened to that music, I was just a little guy. Probably like 3-4 years old, somewhere like that. But I'll tell you one thing, I could tap my toe, that's for sure. And I did. Ooh, are you serious? Listen to that guitar, y'all. I gotta turn this up. I feel like I'm on Hee-Haw right now. This is awesome. Man, that guy can play some... That guy or gal, I don't know if it's a guy or gal playing, but whoever that is, they can play a little bit of guitar. Let me tell you right now, they can play some guitar. They can make that guitar sing and dance and everything in between. So what was that one? Was called Ketchup, right? Yeah, I think so. Ketchup. Okay. So this next one is called Hickory Hollow. Hickory Hollow, and this is also labeled bright. I'm skipping some of the ones that say calm, just because I am not feeling calm when we're doing an unboxing. I'm excited to get to the core of that, just like you are, so we can see what's inside. It's like Christmas morning. It's like unwrapping a present, for goodness sakes. So let's be bright with Hickory Hollow. Any guesses yet? Any guesses? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. If you nail it, not just who made it, but what the model is, if you nail it, I'll send you something special. But you got to do it before I say what it is, which is going to be coming up pretty doggone quick. Real quick here. So type in your best guess. All right, I'm gonna take a little drink of water so you can have time to type in your guess. Type in your guess, come on. Hit send, hit send, hit send. Boy, that's some good instrument playing right there. That is some good instrument playing. Again, that was, if you want to look it up or save it on your favorites, that's Hickory Hollow. Hickory Hollow. Oh, okay. This next one I'm going to put on as I get ready to take the cover off. And again, if you haven't typed in your guess yet, the make and model of what this machine is that Lorraine sent me from the great Hoosier state of Indiana. You better type quick because I'm going to be doing this real fast. But this next song is called Twilight Train. Twilight Train, and it's labeled Country Folk Dramatic. So this ought to be interesting. All right, here we go. Here we go. And I think there's more padding on the inside, so you got a little bit more time. I can see the bubble wrap. I don't know if this was whoops. I'm not sure if this was like this before Lorraine shipped it, but I'm guessing it probably was, but there's a crack. There's a crack right there on the top of her cover. You can see that? Right there. And then on this other side, it's a little bit harder to see, but we also have a crack right here, right where my finger is. And then this also is damaged right here. This little piece actually came loose, came off. So it may have been like this already, but if it wasn't, that way Lorraine knows, so she can reach out to the folks at UPS or whatever and let them know that at least the case was damaged on both ends. So I'm going to set this to the side. All right, I got to turn this around. Looks like I got it facing the wrong way. Oh, maybe I don't. I thought I had it facing the wrong way. Oh, I see what it is. I see. I thought this was the front, the back of the machine, but it's actually the extension bed kind of sticking through. So again, I'm going to pause a little bit because I'm not going to say anything until I get all the bubble wrap off and to get the machine facing and then zoom in on it. So again, you got time. Type in your guesses. I'm not looking at the chat right now. Don't have time. So you still have time to make a good guess. And again, if you nail it, the make and the model, I'll send you something special. And I just recently sent an impromptu gift giveaway to, I believe it was Lynn. So a shout out to Lynn down in the great state of Florida. And I just had a follow-up conversation with Lynn because she's looking at the possibility of getting a machine from me. And she said, Scott, I got to be honest with you. When you talked about sending an impromptu gift, I was expecting something like, I'm going to get into the shot here. I was expecting something like, you know, some sewing needles or, you know, something real simple, something, you know, nothing extraordinary. And she said, when I started to peel the layers off, and she said, you packed my item just like you pack the sewing machines in your shipping videos. And she said, when I got down and I got that last layer off and I saw that it was a real cool Singer button holder in one of those boat style, or she called it, I think, kind of a retro style cases. She said, I couldn't believe it. She said, I know what those things are worth. And then on top of that, the shipping that you paid as well, she said, I was blown away. But that's what I try to say to you folks all the time when we're doing these impromptu contests, kind of like this one right now, where you can name the make and the model, and if you do it before I announce it, I'm going to send you something special. I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm going to send you something that is nice and something that hopefully you're really going to appreciate. And got a real nice note about that. Got some other notes from folks as well that I recently have sent some impromptu contest giveaways to. And that means a lot when someone takes time to acknowledge it and send that note as well. So I just got to be honest. I'm not looking for praise, but it's kind of neat when you get that little thank you note that's handwritten. And they've taken time to acknowledge the gift that you sent. And I like to acknowledge the fact that you've stepped out of the shadows, as I've said before. So that's why I send you something that's nice, not like a little pack of sewing needles or something like that. I want you to really be like, whoa, I'm blown away. So, all right, I just wanted to mention that. So, let me pick another piece of music to throw on, and then we're going to continue to dig into this unboxing, and we'll see what we find. All right. So again, that last song that you heard was called Twilight Train. This one is called An Army of None, N-O-N-E, and this is marked Rock Bright. So let's see what we got. Alright, again, if you haven't posted make and model yet, you better move fast. We're really, really, really close. Really close. Really close. Close enough to the machine. I actually have my thumb behind there so I don't nick the machine or anything. Some of you are probably saying, get out of the way, get out of the way! Alright, I'll get out of the way. We got all kinds of goodies that came loose here. I've got parts all over the place. Oh, I see what it is. The accessory box came open right there, and I've got pressure feet, bobbins, everything floating all over the place. I'm going to have to make sure I don't lose anything. So here's the extension bed, if that helps you at all. Oh, I see what this is. This is a little caddy that goes over the free arm. Oh yeah, I got bobbins and everything floating around here. Uh-oh. See what that is? I don't know if that was, I assume that that was an extra bulb. Hopefully that's not the bulb that was in the machine. I can certainly replace it, but that means I have glass inside of here as well. So it just goes back to saying again, you cannot overpack a vintage sewing machine. This machine only traveled from Indiana to Wisconsin. That's a pretty short journey compared to other journeys of machines that have arrived at the workshop recently. And we have a busted sewing light with glass now all over the inside of that machine. So, like I said, if you hire somebody to pack it for you, read them the Riot Act about, I want that thing packed like it's a dozen eggs. I want it packed to absolute perfection. So Lorraine, -1 light, my friend. I better be extra careful now, because that glass from those lights is nasty. That can cut you real quick. Oh yeah, here's another piece of it right here. I don't know if you can see that in the shot, but you catch that the wrong way with one of your fingers as you're grabbing the accessories and stuff that are all over the bottom of the packing material right now, and you will slice open your finger real quick, real quick. All right. So this is the caddy that had the various accessories inside, and I don't know if there's a cover for this or it must just be open, and they didn't stretch wrap it, you know, around here to contain everything in there. So it's when it gets bumped around and jostled and everything else, it's going to go wherever it wants to go. And I'll take all these out once I start going into this machine, which won't be right away. And again, if you haven't guessed the make yet, maybe this will help. That's the bobbin case for this machine. And you've seen these before in my premieres and different videos posted, so that helps you. That gets you a step closer. If you know what the make is, then maybe you can guess what the model is. What was that last one? I think Army of None, right? Is that what I said? And then I've got Dream Lagoon is the next one. Dream Lagoon is what I'll put on as where, oh, I can't pass this one. I'm going to skip Dream Lagoon and go to Swampland. Swampland, it's marked funky. Yeah. All right, let me get a little bit closer to the machine. I'm not looking at the chat, so if no one's guessed yet, I'm sure as smart as you guys are, you've already guessed the maker, but I'm going to zoom in just a little bit closer as I'm picking up all of this and also checking around for glass as well so I don't get cut. And come right about to there. I love these little screwdrivers, don't you? Let me turn the screen around so I can see. This is one of the screwdrivers that Lorraine sent with all of her goodies. I've got a couple of these and I think they are just wow. I use them a lot. The new and improved Dirt Devil. What would you expect to, what would you expect to pay for this masterpiece of sucking technology? We're not afraid to say that our product sucks because that's what it's designed to do. It's a vacuum cleaner, for goodness sakes. Oh, wow. And that little shameless plug for that particular vacuum cleaner just ended perfectly with the music. How do I do it? How do I do it? It's like a superpower almost. It's like a superpower, doggone it. Okay, let me put this over here so I can make sure that if there's any tiny little pieces of glass I didn't get, that I get it. And it does look like I pulled down the light. I could ask Lorraine, but there is no light in there right now, and you probably can't see that super well. And you know what I could do right now is I could come off the tripod. Let me throw on one more piece of music. It'll come off the tripod and we'll kind of go around Lorraine's machine. And I have no idea if you've already posted something as far as make and model. If you did, whoever posted it first, and make sure you let me know. I mean, if I somehow mess up and I don't see yours and you posted it before someone else, let me know that. Again, I'm looking for make and model. I haven't mentioned it yet intentionally because I want to give you every opportunity to win something fun that I would send to you, like I did for Lynn down in Florida. All right, a little bit more music, and let's come off the tripod and get close to this machine. And I will still not say the model or the make, and even as we're going around the machine, and it'll be real conspicuous, so you'll still have another opportunity. So get ready. No idea what I'm focused on right now. All right, here we go. Let's start over here by the accessories. All kinds of goodies in there. Minus hopefully the glass. We don't want any glass. No glass. And this back over here is going to be the foot controller. We probably should open that up too, huh? See if I can set this right here. All right, there we go. Ah, look at this. It's got that same little plate on there I showed you guys in the other Premiere. And don't type in 8041. Don't type in 8041 because that is not the model of this machine. That's the number of this foot controller. What else do we have here? So this is kind of cool. I'm going to turn this music down as much as I like it. This is kind of cool. This must be the original person that Lorraine got this machine from, because we've got provenance materials here from the original person that bought it. Looks like back in 1982. You kind of see that right there. And it looks like it came out of the state of Washington. 1982. Husqvarna Viking Sewing Machines, Bellevue, Washington. I know where that is. It's always great to have provenance supporting documents with a machine if you end up buying it from the owner. And I've given a number of folks provenance materials with machines over the years. And it looks like here, yeah, this is the original bill of sale. This is the original bill of sale. This is kind of like way cool. So the person bought it from Viking Sewing and Vacuum Centers in Renton, Bellevue, and Federal Way. I know where all of those places are because that's where I finished my military service when I finished up with the Army. Was out in Washington State, so I know where all these places are. And again, it looks like Kathy Lewis from Edmonds, Washington, bought this Viking. We already know it's a Viking. I'm not giving anything away. She bought it from them, and I don't know if it was new or the used price. I honestly don't. It doesn't quite say. Paid in full with tax, $905.25. Now going back to 1982, June 8th. Yeah, that's June 8th, 1982. $850 is the base cost. Oh, that might be the model number with the serial number. I don't know. So if you haven't typed it yet, the base cost plus the tax, just like less than $100 shy of $1,000. That's not a cheap investment, folks, back in 1982. So that's really neat. The original bill of sale that Lorraine, thank you for trusting me with sending that along so I could incorporate it into this unboxing. That's way cool. I'll make sure this definitely gets back to you safe and sound. And here's an original owner's manual as well. Again, I don't know if there's any clues on here as to the make and the model. There might be, if it hasn't been typed into the chat yet. There might be a clue on there, maybe. Yeah, I think she bought it new at that price. Because here as well, she's writing inside of the front of the owner's manual, June of 1982. She's got the serial number written out. Viking Sewing Center, Bellevue is where she bought it, Bellevue, Washington. And so yeah, I think she bought it brand new for just shy of $1,000. I just love, Husqvarna Viking does not mess around when it comes to putting together just amazing owner's manuals. You know what I mean? They don't spare anything in putting manuals together that are just fabulous as a resource. Just absolutely fabulous. So a lot of neat stuff here. A lot of neat stuff. Especially, I love that original bill of sale. And also the original, this is a warranty, basically a warranty certificate, stamped officially with the Viking Sewing Machine Center approval out of Bellevue, Washington. Yep, limited warranty, Viking. So that's just all really cool. Really cool Providence documents that Lorraine has with this. Okay, now I'm going to say it. So if you haven't typed it by now after I showed you the original bill of sale, I showed you the owner's manual. If you didn't type it in by now, then to you for not having the initiative to type it out. So we are, in fact, looking at a Viking model 6370. So if you type in it at this point, doesn't count. You don't get anything. Or as Willy Wonka says in that wonderful clip, you lose, you get nothing, sir. You remember that, right, from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? If you don't, you got to rent it or download it or something. One of the greatest movies ever made. And I'm talking about the one with Gene Wilder, not the one that was released after that. So this again is Lorraine's Viking Husqvarna 6370 model, 6370. And obviously a great machine. And I'm not alarmed that there's no bobbin case, because I've already seen the bobbin case sitting in that caddy that is over here. This is the bobbin case again that goes with Lorraine's machine. And I'm not sure why it's not in the machine. It just popped in very easily, but that's all well and good. And obviously they've got it proudly marked made in Sweden, really made in Sweden. Not like some of the machines now where they say engineering that's Swedish or engineering that's German or some other blah, 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 blah marketing gobbledygook, which is deceiving people. And they look at that and they say, oh, it must be made in Germany if it's got German engineering and it has Swedish engineering. No, it's not. It's probably made in Vietnam or the Philippines or God knows where else. It definitely is not made in that company, original company location back in the day. Definitely not. So I don't see any obvious damage to the front of the machine. That's good, because we have all these plastic dials and such that can easily be damaged. So we're just going to continue to look around the machine and see if we see any obvious damage. We'll kind of look at the right side of the machine now, near where the balance wheel is and our bobbin winder and everything, and just pulled it out to make sure that it pulls out so we can access that slow gear. And this should also have that auto clutch disengagement, where if we slide a bobbin on there, it will automatically disengage the clutch so that that needle does not move. It better, otherwise I'll have to repair it, because right here you look at the balance wheel, there's no way to release the clutch up here. It's not going to happen. So let's turn it around the rest of the way and look at the back of the machine. And it looks like Lorraine sent one cam along with. This is obviously where we would plug our power cord into on the back of the machine. Right there. That looks good. And here's our nomenclature plate on the back of here. Again, they have to legally, on some of those newer machines where they're trying to trick people into believing that the machine is made still in Sweden, or that it's made in Germany, or it's made in Switzerland for the Elnas. On the back of the nomenclature plate, they've got to be unless they want to get into legal troubles, they've got to be honest in revealing where the machine is actually made. On the front of it, they can put German engineering, or in this case, Swedish engineering. But on the back of this nomenclature plate, on the rear of the machine, which interestingly is near the top of the machine here, on Lorraine's model 6370, normally the nomenclature plate is going to be like right down here. That's where we're used to seeing it on the Swedish Beauties. On hers, it's all the way at the top. And here you can see how many amps does this machine have? I'm going to give you another impromptu contest in case you totally bailed on that last one and naming the model and the maker before I announced it. So if in fact you missed out on that and you want to take another swing at the bat, then tell me, I'm going to ask you for a couple things here, so don't jump on it right away. Okay? Tell me what the voltage is on this machine. Tell me how many hertz cycles it has. Tell me what size lamp it takes. In other words, what size bulb, which we're going to need, obviously, because the other one was busted to smithereens because it obviously came loose in transit and it bounced around and eventually just exploded. Wouldn't that have been fun to be near the box when you heard that? And you're like, whoa, what happened? What happened? What's going on? And the former military people are all like in the prone position, laying flat on the ground thinking they're being shot at. But all it was an exploding light bulb that wasn't, because those things are not going to come loose. I'm guessing that bulb was probably sitting in this caddy with all the other accessories. And it started bouncing around, hit the machine on the inside, and boom, you're done. Because there's no way it's going to just come loose. There's no way it's going to come loose from here. It doesn't screw in, but it snaps into there in place. Plus you got this shielding right here that's going to, contain it in that space up there if it comes loose. So it was just sitting in this caddy. It was just sitting in there, and it just bounced around with all this other stuff and got busted. But at any rate, okay, I'm done ranting. Maybe I'm done ranting. So again, tell me the voltage, the hertz. Tell me how many amps this machine is. Tell me the watts as far as the light that got destroyed. Anything else? I think that's enough. So the volts, the hertz, the amperage, and the watts of the lamp that I'm going to have to put in this machine since the other one was destroyed. All right, you got it? So post that in the chat. If you're the first one to post it, then I'll send you something special. It's not going to be quite as special as getting the make and model, but it's still going to be something really cool. I think you'll be happy. If you're not happy, then don't be happy. Send it back to me and I'll give it to somebody else. All right? Don't you love it when I get sassy? It's kind of like my little... Have you guys ever seen this before? It's kind of like my little thing up on the wall here. I can only please one person a day. Today is not your day. Tomorrow is not looking good either. And then this one is almost equally as good. It's got a Victor, is that a Victor? Yeah, a Victor mousetrap. And it says complaint department, push button for service. Okay, I know, King, that was totally inappropriate and that was like way sassy. And I'm reading that you're not happy with it, but I just need to let loose sometimes, Your Majesty. Sometimes I just have to let loose, even when the machine is one of yours. It is what it is. Okay. So again, other than the light bulb that got destroyed, I'm not seeing, these are good. These can sometimes get broken off in transit. The cam is still in the machine. Hopefully, keep your fingers and toes crossed. The 6000 and the 2000 series Husqvarnas are known to have cam stack issues. I'm hoping that we don't have, I just took out this cam here. I'm hoping we don't have any cam stack issues. I'll know soon enough. Oh, yes, I think we do. Can you see that in the shot? Let me get my flashlight out. I'm seeing what looks like a cracked cam stack. And that's not an absolute showstopper. Yeah, I think we do. We surely do. Doggone it. Where am I? I'm somewhere. All right, look right on top. I'm going to do my best to get a shot on here. Let me hold my camera with the other hand. And I'll hold the flashlight with the other hand. Maybe that'll... I don't think that's going to be any easier, but I'm going to give it a go. Okay, see right at the very top? See at the very top of... Yeah, you can see better when I don't give it like super heavy light. See that little separation at the very top? Let me move in closer. That looks like a crack. And that's what I was concerned about. As soon as Lorraine said it was a 6000 series, the 6000 and also the 2000 series ones, and there's another crack at the bottom. See it? Right where the cam plugs in. So we have two cracks on the cam stack. We have the one on the bottom, and we have the one at the top of the cam stack. And that might be repairable. That might be repairable. I'm hoping it is. Otherwise, the cam stack is going to have to be replaced, and that adds a lot of labor. Well, there's going to be labor involved, obviously, anyway, because it's a very time-consuming process to repair cracks like this on the stack without taking the stack out, because if I take it out, it's going to be even more labor time for Lorraine. And I try to save my customers money whenever I can, but I can't leave that crack there on top, and I can't leave that crack on the bottom, especially the one on the bottom, because it's right where that cam plugs in. And if you're not familiar with these cams, they have little feet on them, basically. See these? Those little feet snap into that cam stack, and that stresses that plastic every time you snap it in. As she takes one out, we have B in right now. As she takes B out or puts another one in, every time it's pushing against those brakes in the cam stack, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So that's a definite repair. It's not just a service on two parts of the cam stack. Okay, so I'm going to set this over here because I'm not going to plug this in again until I'm able to try to complete a repair on that to reinforce that cam stack or to replace it if needed. So we'll see. All right, when you're kneeling on the ground and you're trying to turn one of these Swedish beauties, it ain't easy. It's not easy at all. Not even for a strong guy like me. Not even for a strong guy like me. Nope, not even a little bit. And obviously on this particular model, the faceplate does not open. You've got to basically remove different parts in order to get to it. These are machines, the 6000 series. I'm not a... And Lorraine, take this in the right way, dear. Take this in the right way. I'm not the biggest fan of the 6370s and some of the other models that are similar to them because they designed them as like self-contained. You'll notice that when we look across the top of her machine, you see any oiling points? No. They wanted to try to give people the impression that the machine didn't require maintenance like the other Husqvarnas, which is a bunch of baloney. And so they made it a lot more difficult to get into the machine for servicing purposes, which is not a good thing, and that can cause machines then to break down prematurely because people, assume based on what they're told. I can only assume that this gal that bought this machine originally, Miss Kathy Lewis from Edmonds, Washington, back on June 8th, 1982, I can only assume that she was told by the good folks at that Viking Center, this machine is like all but maintenance free. You don't have to, don't worry your pretty little head. You know, it's gonna be fine. Well, the Swedes are incredibly smart folks, but they also, the reality is every machine needs maintenance, even the brand new $12,000 long arm quilters, and they're going to have similar designs like this where it's going to look like there's no place to oil this thing. But these machines need to be oiled, they need to be maintained, they need to be cleaned. So, at any rate, Lorraine, like I said, miracles every day at this workshop. But we already know about a repair that's going to need to be made on that cam stack for those two cracks that I just showed. And so this is going to be a project. And it's not going to be something, as I talked to you about, it's not going to be something that hits the workbench right away. There's a number of other machines right now that are in front of your Swedish Beauty, your Viking model 6370. But soon enough, this Swedish Beauty will make it to the workbench, and I'm going to do everything with my power to get this machine back to where she needs to be. It's going to happen. It's already... Scott, stop talking like a politician, okay? Just say it like it is. You're going to fix it. Yeah, I'll get it fixed. It'll be okay. It's all going to be good. And Mr. Bean, I'm sorry. I know you're like an incredible dancer, sir. But as much as you want to become my assistant, I'm sorry. The king has ruled, has decreed, it ain't going to happen, Mr. Bean. You can continue to dance on premieres and such, but you ain't going to be involved with that. I have one assistant, Dr. Singer, and Dr. Singer does sometimes, off the record, off the clock, assist with Swedish Beauties as well. And I'm very grateful for that, Dr. Singer. But Mr. Bean is not going to help. I'm sorry, Mr. Bean. Sorry, sir. Sorry about that. You're the best dancer ever. You are. So, checking our reverse. It looks like our reverse is going to need some TLC as well. All of the knobs turn freely. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay. All right. Well, this has been an unboxing, obviously, again, from a machine that came from the great Hoosier state of Indiana, from Lorraine Workman. And again, Lorraine, I appreciate you entrusting this Swedish Beauty to my care. Soon she will be on the workbench, and soon we will get her heading back to where she needs to be. So stay tuned for other great unboxings like this, where we just have fun. We just have fun, and you get involved in impromptu contests, and you potentially win cool stuff, which will not, by the way, be sewing needles, as I told Lynn when she said, I thought I was just going to get some old sewing needles, and I got this really cool, deco ratty daddy Singer buttonholer thingy in this cool streamlined tub thingy. And I was like, whoa, what? Serious? Yeah, that's the way we roll here. It's the way we roll here. I'm trying to do my New York accent. I need some New Yorkers to help me on my New York accent. Call my number, 920-454-0393, and we will videotape ourselves practicing on improving my New York accent, okay? Now I sound like I'm from New Jersey. Anyway, God bless, and remember, you're never old until regrets take the place of your dreams. And remember also, the greatest prize in life is working hard at work worth doing, like what we do here at the workshop. Take care.